A Rangers insider has dropped a surprising trade report as a new name has emerged on the open market, but there is one major hurdle standing between a forward-thinking future for the Blue Shirts. Welcome back to Rangers Digest. I am your host, Bret Botfeld, and it's great to be back with you guys on this beautiful, glorious Thursday, the 19th of June. And guys, before I break down exactly who that player is, because there is a new name that has emerged on this open market that we have not spoken about here yet on the channel as of late, but a quick reminder that about 74% of you that currently watch these videos are unsubscribed, so please hit that free subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers. And guys, let's hop right into it. Let's get right into the video. We have a major report here that came out just before the Chris Kreider trade. And as you guys know, once that Chris Kreider trade went down, the dominoes began to fall because the Rangers were able to not only get a prospect, Carey Terrence, back in return, but they were able to clear $6.5 million, guys. This went from a Rangers team that didn't have much cap space to play with. All of a sudden, getting that extra $6.5 million certainly helped them out, and now they can be more aggressive, even when it comes to offer sheets, guys, because like I said, they have that luxury now. But this is a report from NHLRumors.com, and Vince Ricogliano, Rangers insider, very in touch with the team. He says, the Blue Shirts are looking for upgrades at center, right wing, and left-handed defense, ideally players who bring youth, speed, and snarl to a stale roster. As you see right there, the Rangers are looking for center help, right wing help, left defense, essentially everything. The Rangers need a lot of help. This is a team that went from the President's Trophy to 13th in the Eastern Conference, so this is certainly a team that needs a lot of help, and Vince has been on it. Larry Brooks has been on it the entire offseason as well. Rangers are looking for youth, speed, size, and snarl, but I love how I feel like youth has really been emphasized here because Rangers have a lot of aging stars. They're looking to turn the tide here, bring in some younger, established guys. Let's get back to the report. Vince Ricogliano says, here are 5 players reportedly on Chris Drury's radar as the team gears up for a critical offseason. He goes into depth about Shane Pinto, guys. Shane Pinto, I know this is a name that you guys probably weren't expecting to hear because we've spoken about Jason Robertson in depth. We've spoken about Marco Rossi, Bill Byram, etc. We have not mentioned Shane Pinto. And guys, this is an intriguing option. He says, while most eyes in Ottawa have been on bigger names, Pinto is the more realistic target and an intriguing one. The Long Island native has posted 2 20-goal seasons, skates well, and brings size at 6'3", 204 pounds, and smarts to the ice. He's also fresh off a gold medal win with Team USA, with only 1 year left on his deal at $3.75 million. Pinto could be a cost-effective upside swing for a team that needs middle 6 help down the middle. They certainly need middle 6 help down the middle, especially if they thought about turning Mika into a right wing now. You know, that would kind of eat into their depth at center, so he would be an intriguing option. And that $3.75 million contract, that is a bridge deal that is about to expire for Shane Pinto, so he's going to be looking for more long-term security here moving forward. Let's take a look at the stats for Pinto, guys. Here he is, played 70 games, pretty durable there. 37 points, put the puck in the net 21 times. He had 16 assists. This guy was plus 10, playing over 17 minutes a night on the ice. As I alluded to before, 6'3", 204 pounds, just 24 years of age, guys. So as you can see, he has that youth at 24. He has that size at 6'3", 204 pounds. He has that speed, not elite speed, but very good speed. And snarl, he does have that snarl. Playing on Ottawa, they are filled with boys that have that snarl, that grit, that grind. So Shane Pinto, guys, really, really intriguing option here. And if we take a look at Ottawa's cap space situation, they've got just about $11 million to play with. This is a team that made the playoffs this past season. You know, a lot of people are going to be wondering, why would moving Pinto make sense for Ottawa? And it's a great question, guys. But this is a team with an influx of younger talent. They need to make a move looking for a vet, an established vet, playoff experience, who can bring production to a position of need for them. Like I said, they've done a great job here of developing that youth, but they need something else. They need something that can help take them over the top. And if we take a look at their lineup here, guys, you know, obviously That first line is solid. But if we take a look where Pinto is slated in here on third line at center, if you were to move Shane Pinto, what you can do if you're the Ottawa Senators, and just looking at this lineup, what's very interesting to me is on their first four lines, they only have one player over the age of 30, and on their three defense lines, once again, only one player over the age of 30. So we saw that inexperience kind of bite them in the butt this past postseason. They need more production ultimately. They need another vet that has that playoff experience. You take a look at this roster, very talented, but very young. Moving Shane Pinto would put them in a hole at third line center. But if you look at Amadio next to him, who's currently playing right wing, he can certainly slide right over into that center position if you move Pinto. Then what you could do is, if you look at Zetterlund on that second right wing, he is a guy that you can move down on that third line with Amadio. And if I'm the Ottawa Senators, I'm looking at bringing Mika Zibanejad back to Ottawa. I know it sounds crazy, but he is an established vet, Mika Zibanejad. He didn't put in any effort this past season. You can see the effort just wasn't there on a night-to-night basis. And if you took a look at that article from earlier today where Artemi Panarin had a meeting, a players-only meeting, and they conspired to quit on the general manager, Chris Drury, on Peter Laviolette. Mika Zibanejad's coming off his worst year, and he still put up 62 points. This is a guy that would instantly become the third highest productive player on Ottawa, coming off his worst season. So just imagine if he's rejuvenated and bounces back. I mean, he could easily go into number one on Ottawa's productive list. So if you slide him on that second line, second right wing for Ottawa, where he's had success. Remember, this past season in 25 games at right wing with the Rangers, he had 28 points. Now you're talking about a team with Brady Tkachuk on the left wing, Mika Zibanejad on the right wing, plenty of playoff experience, has been a productive veteran star. So this would make sense for Ottawa, and they still would have a ton of young talent. Now, when it comes to Mika Zibanejad, this is what really puts a pin in things. This is why this transaction would be very hard to execute, because Frank Saravelli has reported, I haven't heard Mika Zibanejad's name out there. He's made it clear he doesn't have interest in moving anyways. And guys, like I said, Mika Zibanejad would be the piece to move in this deal for Shane Pinto. One, because Ottawa can afford it, and number two, because Ottawa could use some veteran experience, some playoff experience. Now, Brady Tkachuk at left wing is great on the power play. Mika Zibanejad, while he's coming off a poor season, historically has been great on the power play. This could be a really nice fit for Ottawa and take them to another level. Not Stanley Cup champion level, but it is a move that can help push their program forward for sure. And like I said, the Rangers could use more youth, like Shane Pinto. They already have plenty of aging stars. Luckily, they've been able to move off of some of them as of late, but this is a deal that would work for both sides. The only issue is that Mika Zibanejad is putting a pin in things, and I know a lot of Rangers fans are fine moving on from him now, especially because of that bombshell report that came out earlier. And I know, Rangers fans know, that meeting that was held at Artemi Panarin's house, Mika is very close with the bread man. Mika is very close with Chris Kreider, his best friend. Mika is very close with Jacob Trouba, Barclay Goodrow. You know that he was a ringleader when it comes to that meeting. He was a ringleader when it came to conspiring to quit on Laviolette, to quit on Drury. So why would we want him here? Why would we want him here? The guy didn't show any effort this past season. He looked like he cared more playing for Sweden than he did for the Rangers. So it just really stinks that he is basically not going to waive his no-trade clause most likely. And it's really a shame because the Rangers have cap space, but they'd be able to be much more flexible if he would just move that damn no-trade clause. Here's another report from Frank Saravelli, which is why this stings even more. He says the J.J. Peterka file has really heated up in the last 4 to 5 days. And I imagine that's because the Rangers are threatening to offer sheet him and put bonuses in there, which Buffalo would be hesitant to do. The Rangers are certainly threatening when it comes to offering bonuses on these offer sheets, and as you can see, it worked. Buffalo is more open to trading JJ Peterka now, and in the past they haven't. JJ has wanted out of Buffalo, but Buffalo hasn't wanted to move him, but now it seems like they're open for business. And if we take a look here, look at this Rangers lineup. As opposed to Ottawa, that has an influx of young talent, look at the Rangers. 6 players, 6 on these first 4 lines over age 30. I mean, they're just not built for sustained success. Look at the defense. Look at the defense. Even 2 players on their 3 lines that are age 30 or older as well. The Rangers need to bring in youth, guys. Now, if the Rangers, looking at their right wing, Alexis Lafreniere, Perrault, Brzezinski, Rempe, guys, there's not much production. I know there's some depth, but there's not much production at right wing. Alexis Lafreniere can't be your first right wing. A guy that's not even a traditional right wing. He came into the league as a left wing. The Rangers moved him over to right wing. He's coming off his worst season. He can't be your first line right wing. So here's my thinking. If Mika Zibanejad would frickin' move that no trade clause, the Rangers could try and work out a deal. Shane Pinto, Zibanejad as the headliners. Obviously, there may be a prospect there, a draft pick here or there. But those 2 would be the headliners. That would be the meat of the trade. You bring in Pinto on that 3rd line to anchor that 3rd line. A 2-way player. A guy that has multiple 20-goal scoring seasons at age 24. He's a great defender, an elite defender. If you were able to pull off that trade, that would open the door for another trade, headlined by Alexis Lafreniere and JJ Peterka. I mentioned there's not much production at right wing, but wouldn't you rather have a traditional right wing in JJ Peterka who has turned out to be a star, showing massive leaps in these past 3 seasons? Wouldn't you rather have him on your first line instead of Alexis Lafreniere coming off his worst season, a traditional left wing, not right wing? At least that can mask some of the issues at right wing, guys. Alexis Lafreniere is not going to be able to mask any of those issues. So because of Mika Zibanejad and his stubbornness, a guy that didn't show any effort this past season, a ringleader in that damn meeting at Artemi Panarin's house, look at how much better this roster would look with Shane Pinto on the 3rd line at center. Especially if you're able to extend him after that bridge deal expires. A $6 million deal for 4 years would be absolutely perfect for him. And now you'd have JJ Peterka as well on that first line at right wing. You'd be replacing Zibanejad and Lafreniere with Pinto and Peterka. Pinto, 24 years old. Peterka, 23 years old. Wouldn't you rather make the playoffs with young and ascending stars instead of aging veteran stars? At least there would be a future, guys. With these aging stars, there's no future. They're not going to win the Stanley Cup. We've seen them at their pinnacle. I'm just fascinated to hear what you guys think about this, because I know Rangers fans are ticked off with Mika Zibanejad like I am, and they want him to move that no trade clause. But he is being very stubborn, guys, and he is holding up the flexibility that the Rangers should have. Like I said, they got the cap space, but by him not moving that no trade clause, it's handicapping them a bit, guys. So please drop your comments down below. I want to hear what you think about bringing in Shane Pinto as well. Haven't spoken about him much here on the channel. And another reminder, guys, once again, if you haven't hit that free subscribe button, hit that free subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers.